have to have enough power to hurt him. I just got to beat him. That's it. If he slip up, then, you know, he will get hurt.
And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity.
With the showdown drawing closer, Terence Crawford displays unwavering confidence in his craft, fully prepared to embrace the magnitude of the challenge ahead. Opposite him, Canelo Alvarez leans into his vast reservoir of experience, calmly reminding the world that he's gone toe-to-toe with elite fighters like Crawford countless times before. Canelo assures fans that he will utilize every ounce of skill, insight, and ring knowledge to emerge triumphant. As both warriors prepare for battle, the atmosphere thickens with anticipation, setting the stage for a high-stakes clash between belief and legacy.
Dealing with this.
I'm being this sport like so many years. I've had so many good fights in my career, and I have the experience to adapt myself to these kind of fighters. I fight everybody out there, every style, and I'm gonna do my job and put all my experience, all my talent there, and that's.
Terence Crawford approaches this fight radiating with self-assured energy, convinced of his ability to overcome any adversary who dares to stand across from him. His tone in press appearances reflects the mindset of a fighter deeply in tune with his capabilities and the discipline that brought him to this moment. But the cold facts present another angle. Canelo Alvarez's record boasts 67 bouts against the sport's best, providing a level of ring wisdom and adaptability that only time can teach. Crawford, with 41 fights under his belt, stands tall but lacks the same volume of experience in perilous, defining moments. That difference in high-pressure ring scenarios could quietly shift the outcome when the gloves touch.
Know how great Terence Crawford is, but they don't know how great Terence Crawford is at 168.
Terence in his bag right now, going third person, you feel me? But yeah, Terence has every right to talk his shit literally here. He's being respectful and fair play, but the questions are the ones he's asking, the ones he knows are being asked. What's he look like at 168? Can he take the power? Is he going to be too small? Is he going to be able to deal with Canelo's experience over time, right? Even though Terence is the older fighter, he has, I think, 20 less fights than Canelo does, or maybe more. Well, I think more than 20. And also, competition level. This will be the most skilled, most experienced, biggest, strongest fighter that Terence Crawford's ever faced.
Throughout his illustrious career, Canelo Alvarez has continually tested himself against the sport's most dangerous and decorated names. Each bout has fine-tuned his endurance, enhanced his strategies, and sharpened his instincts in ways few others can relate to. Terence Crawford, while undeniably dominant against strong competition, hasn't encountered the same level of opposition at the very peak of the sport. His resume lacks names like Triple G, whose power and boxing IQ push fighters to evolve mid-fight. This void in experience against elite threats could have a ripple effect during key moments, possibly giving Canelo the advantage when the going gets tough.
Everything is on Terence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that all that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game, and if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion, and he had the...
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. brings a sophisticated perspective to the table, pointing out that the true challenge for Crawford will be handling the raw physical force Canelo brings. Jones argues that technical mastery, when applied flawlessly, can often neutralize even the most imposing power. He believes Crawford's brilliant footwork, precision, and mental sharpness might allow him to dictate the rhythm if he weathers the early storm. Jones insists that fundamentals like timing, angles, and anticipation will be the key to whether Crawford can disarm Canelo's heavy artillery and flip the script in his favor.
There's some pushing and shoving going on. The weight difference is a big factor as well.
I pay no attention to the pushing and shoving. I pay no attention to the weight factor. What I pay attention to is the skill level that both guys show in and out of the ring. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights. Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not gonna always win them, but he always tries to give them to us. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much. Only thing that matters with the weight is can you take the punch. And I'm sure you've been sparring with super middles and light heavies, so I'm sure you probably can take the punch. So that's the only thing when you got skill. Now if you don't have skill, you can't take the weight, take it up, because you're gonna lose your punch, you're gonna lose everything. When you got skill, all your stuff that you have goes up with you.
Basketball icon and avid combat sports enthusiast Shaquille O'Neal boldly places his faith in Crawford to walk away with the win. Shaq draws confidence from Crawford's relentless execution and surgical precision, seeing him as a technician whose style overwhelms opponents mentally and physically. In Shaq's eyes, Crawford's refined tactics will eventually create a knockout opportunity. His opinion, while fan-based, reflects the wider divide between viewers and analysts who see this fight through different stylistic lenses, raising the intrigue of how Crawford's finesse will clash with Canelo's pressure.
Talking about the one fight right now, Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Who do you got?
Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford?
Yeah.
Why?
This is the best ever.
Really? You think he's the greatest ever?
Yeah.
Over Ali, Muhammad Ali? I didn't know you were a big Terence Crawford fan like that.
You have to understand that there's eras, and in different eras you can bring around the titles. Like, for example, Joker's the best big man.
Right.
And I don't like,
You put Joker over you as the best big man? Oh.
Different eras and different time. It's not my era, not my time now.
True.
It's their time. So he's the greatest big man in the NBA right now. So I let the people decide who that. But right now, Terence Crawford is the best.
So
and Floyd, because Floyd has never lost.
So how does Terence beat Canelo? Decision?
He's
Or
gonna knock him out.
he's going to knock Canelo out?
Yes, man.
So they're going to have the fight at the Vegas Stadium, Raider Stadium. You're going to be there?
I heard it was off.
No, it's back on.
Okay,
now
yeah,
it's back
yeah,
on. It's
yeah.
in September 13th in Vegas.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. Front row? Front row?
Of course.
All right, cool.
Veteran trainer Robert Garcia delivers a calculated assessment, noting that Canelo's most recent performances have lacked the explosiveness of his prime years. Garcia sees this as a potential opening for Crawford to exploit. He points out that boxing, at its core, is about timing, and perhaps Crawford is catching Canelo just as his peak begins to fade. This viewpoint introduces the idea that this fight may not be decided by career accomplishments alone, but by who shows up sharper, smarter, and more prepared on the night that matters.
I would probably say Crawford versus Canelo, because it's a fight that that most of the people don't give Crawford a chance because of the size, but he's got skills, man. He's got skills. He's got good speed, good footwork. That's why I do give him a chance.
You do give
I do give Crawford a chance, of course. Canelo's last few fights, he does his work. He gets work done, but never does that little extra to please or to. He knows he doesn't need to anymore, so he's just comfortable enough with just securing the win. He became a businessman, and I think that could be something in favor of Crawford, that if he comes out in his best and good footwork, Canelo is flat-footed. He his last fight, especially against the runner, he was throwing one punch at a time. Didn't even try to be aggressive and get him into the ropes, throw combinations of 4 or 5 punches. He never even tried that. So I think at this stage, I am giving Crawford a big chance of maybe pulling it up.
Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao takes a respectful and philosophical stance on the matchup, cautioning against simplistic comparisons between fighters. He stresses that each boxer brings a unique fusion of style, strengths, and mental frameworks into the ring, making direct parallels reductive. Pacquiao urges fans to evaluate the Canelo-Crawford bout on its own terms, rather than through legacy narratives or historical comparisons. His words promote a purer appreciation for the sport and reinforce that greatness can take many forms, depending on how you define it.
What do you make of Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather?
Crawford what?
Better than Floyd Mayweather. Canelo said that.
Crawford can beat.
No, Crawford said Canelo. Canelo said Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think? What's your assessment?
There's a different style, you know. I mean, they're both good fighters, so it's hard to compare yourself to others. Like,
do you think?
Thank you guys. We gotta go. We gotta move on.
Mayweather did against Canelo. Do you think he can do any of that?
What, Canelo?
Can Crawford do any of what Mayweather did against Canelo?
That's a good fight. I mean, you know, we'll see.
Thank you.
Insiders from Canelo's camp have revealed that a major focus of his training camp has been neutralizing Crawford's movement by improving ring control. Canelo's plan is to aggressively cut off the ring, limit Crawford's mobility, and reduce his ability to set the tempo. This plays perfectly into Canelo's strength as a pressure fighter, one who thrives in close quarters where he can unload crisp, punishing combinations. The success of this tactical approach could decide whether Crawford remains in control or becomes overwhelmed by a suffocating offensive onslaught.
As you see here, Saul Canelo Alvarez reveals his training to cut the ring off against a highly versatile fighter in Terence Bud Crawford coming up September 13th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Terence Crawford has the ability to switch from southpaw to orthodox, and Terence Crawford can also box on his toes and has a lot of power. What y'all think? Will this work? Let me know.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer and close confidant, speaks with a measured yet firm tone when discussing their fight plan. He outlines the depth of their preparation, revealing that their training camp has accounted for every imaginable scenario inside the ring. McIntyre emphasizes that while they hold great respect for Canelo's pedigree, they trust in Crawford's capacity to adapt on the fly and shine under pressure. This quiet confidence, rooted in discipline and preparation, not ego, stands as the backbone of their belief in victory.
Like that, like a Canelo, and not only is his offense, he's got to have defense too, you know what I'm saying? So, styles makes fights. Bud got the better skills, and he got the better mind too.
Do you think with the styles in mind, but also the weight in mind, he can get that job done based on he's just so much more excelling in the skill?
You know what? He gonna get the job done. I promise you. He'll get the job done. You know, because you know, boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, I'm not taking nothing away from you, but just a little bit better.
I can tell you fully believe in your fighter and he believes in himself too. There was a slight back and forth at the press conference there. That was just a battle of belief. Who believes they're better? Obviously Terence believes he's better. Did you look into that? What happened at the press conference there as the first
That's
war
just
of words?
That's just press conference, man. You the reason why I believe into my fighter is because from day one. The first day he walked in the gym to where we at now. We haven't lost yet. Okay? He got a loss. He got 2 losses.
How does that affect him coming into this fight?
One thing about this, always remember this. He got 2 losses, right? We got no losses.
Kell Brook, one of the few boxers who has shared the ring with both Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, offers valuable insight into the challenge ahead. He warns that Canelo presents a uniquely dangerous threat, a rare blend of strength, accuracy, and ring intelligence. While Brook commends Crawford's blazing speed and tactical intellect, he also underscores how Canelo's experience in the sport's biggest moments gives him a certain calm under fire. For Crawford to win, Brook says, he must be physically superior and even more importantly, mentally unshakable.
You know, it's a wow fight, you know what I mean? It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, you know, move up, and you know, I knew when I boxed Golovkin, you know, there's a big difference, you know, especially with someone that, you know, fighting the middleweight, a mediocre world champion is okay. But when you're fighting someone like, you know, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, you know. I have to lean towards Canelo, but, you know, Crawford's very, very, very good.
You think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the ring, but he's very much a good mover as well. Do you feel like he's still got the legs to be maybe out-moving Canelo if he needs to?
Well, I don't know. You know, I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more. You know, he kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches, chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. You know, both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience.
Crawford's defining strength as a boxer lies in his extraordinary adaptability. Throughout his career, he's consistently shifted styles mid-fight, analyzing and dismantling opponents in real time. This fluidity has left even the most seasoned fighters confused and helpless. Against Canelo, however, the margin for error will be razor-thin. Crawford must respond swiftly to Canelo's rhythm and defensive reactions, capitalizing on small openings while avoiding major traps. This high-stakes duel will be a cerebral battle, where the smartest fighter, not just the strongest, will likely prevail.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I've had that tape, people were screaming "cat," and it's like David Ebenezer, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gambo, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switched, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not. You gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op, because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an asshole.
Turki Alashika's involvement brings global gravity to the event, underscoring its significance far beyond the boxing world. As a powerful backer of international sports, his support ensures the bout will be showcased on an epic scale. Alashika's involvement elevates the clash from a simple contest of champions to a cultural phenomenon, bringing unprecedented attention to both fighters and promising a spectacle watched by millions across continents.
Because we are true fighters. We are true fighters. We are true fighters. True, yeah, of course. No, not YouTuber fighters. Huh? Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah. They need to talk and talk shit about the fight because they want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. We want to put a great fucking fight. Yeah. We don't need to talk. I am sure. In the end, in the middle of September, we will have one of the greatest fights ever happen in boxing, and I am sure.
UFC President Dana White's entrance into the promotional landscape of this fight marks a rare and intriguing crossover between boxing and MMA. Known for his marketing genius and ability to create must-see events, White's involvement guarantees bold strategies and the potential to bring new demographics into boxing. His voice adds weight to the fight's significance, positioning it as one of the most anticipated global events not just in combat sports, but in all of 2025's sports calendar.
Unrelated to this fight, but Turki made it seem like you weren't going to be promoting the Terence Crawford-Canelo fight. Is there anything you can kind of clear up on that?
He made it feel like I wasn't?
Yeah, well, he said that someone else was promoting it. He didn't say no TKO, he just didn't include your name in a tweet, and people kind of freaked out online about where'd Dana go.
I'm going to tell you what's awesome, man. So there's a lot of fucked up things about boxing, but they don't say shit. I mean, nobody talks. It's the most amazing thing. If we sign a deal, I gotta fucking get on my phone quick. Go, hey, we're just fucking, because 90,000 people will be out there talking about it. These guys don't talk. I'm promoting the fight.
Nico Ali Walsh offers a behind-the-scenes glimpse into Crawford's strategy, noting that he's been sparring with bigger, stronger partners to simulate the challenge Canelo brings. This adjustment highlights Crawford's proactive mindset, choosing not to just prepare for a typical fight, but to specifically train for the physical pressure and power that Canelo will unleash. Walsh's comments underscore a meticulous approach, where no element is left to chance, and every detail is considered in the quest for victory.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just a build up for that fight. It's just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades.
Boxing legend Oscar de la Hoya provides a sobering reality check, acknowledging Crawford's brilliance but emphasizing that weight and size can tip the balance in major bouts. He warns that no matter how skilled a fighter is, the laws of physics still apply, particularly at the elite level. De La Hoya cautions fans to balance their excitement with realism, reminding everyone that physical advantages in boxing are often just as important as talent and game plans.
William who? Canelo versus William Slow. William who? Oscar being back in New York over here. No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts. Let's get it. If you see Thursdays, back Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right? I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game. Unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it.
Yeah. He's too big, and you know, Crawford, as good as he is, he stepped up with Matrimorph, and he struggled a little bit. You know, he won, but it was more competitive than we thought. Well, we didn't understand how good Matrimorph was because we underestimated him because he only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights. He was a good, solid fighter, right? And he's on this card, of course, but he was a good, solid fighter. We didn't understand that, so we started to knock down Crawford a little bit because our expectation.
Veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas delivers a thought-provoking perspective, suggesting that the fight will ultimately come down to mental warfare as much as physical battle. He highlights Crawford's cerebral edge, his ability to analyze, adapt, and execute under stress as a potential equalizer against Canelo's size and strength. Atlas frames this fight not just as a clash of styles, but as a test of willpower, intelligence, and adaptability, where the fighter who can stay mentally sharp under fire will be the one who leaves with his hand raised.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.